Tell him to go eat shit, Johnny. Tell him yourself.
As you've heard, the part 1 anime is about to come out, so I thought why not make a few videos on my favorite arcs. I think a lot of them deserve a slightly deep analysis and nerd-like rant from good old me, so I want to start off strong by going over what makes Sugar Mountain one of the most special mini arcs in Steel Ball Run. Before that, of course, we need to summarize what actually happens. Also, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe. I'm hoping to hit 100 subscribers by the end of my lifetime. In the beginning, we are greeted with a flashback. We can see Gyro with a girl. The girl is one of Gyro's father's patients, so he can't catch them doing this sort of stuff. He's about to catch them before Gyro wrinkles her skin with his steel balls and pretends she's one of his patients. They celebrate and fool around some more when Gyro notices a tan line on the woman's finger. He finds out she's married. Gyro and Johnny are still in the midst of the race. Their goals have been changed to everything related to the corpse. Johnny shows off his cool new spaghetti fork finger ability. Gyro completely ignores him and with his balls to the ground, senses 11 men approaching them. Remember this will be important for later. Suddenly, Gyro loses his balls. He looks over and a little girl is holding them. She begins a routine. She asks if they had lost one of two options, a prosperous one, like thousands of dollars, and a less desirable but true option, like stacks of useless paper. They do this for a couple of rounds. Every time they are truthful, which is every time, she gives them the desirable option. When she asks, however, if they had lost a pair of rabbit ears or a pair of human ears, they spike up. It's one of the corpse husbands. It's one of the corpse parts. Johnny understood the trial, and he answers truthfully, the rabbit ears, and he gets gifted the other. Sugar Mountain says they have to spend or exchange fairly everything they own before the sun sets, or else they will be absorbed into the tree and suffer the fate that her townspeople and her parents had to before. To disgustingly summarize what happens after this. They try to sell everything they own in various fashions and fall flat on their face. The exchange needs to be fair and they cannot simply give the products. This happens a couple of times. Once they even tried to sell a diamond that they were given, but ended up having to exchange it with a house and ended up making even more money through rent payments than they had to begin with. They tried to simply spend as much as they possibly could, but they're running out of time. With sunrise nearing, finding themselves inside of a casino, trying to throw out all the money that they made, suddenly a shootout is initiated by the 11 men. Do you remember who the 11 men were? I mentioned them earlier. I hope you remembered. It's now important to briefly explain who the 11 men are, or rather what their stand is. All of them share one stand with which they can transfer through one another's body. That's it. The 11 men aren't described in detail. All we know is that one of them is the leader, but the group doesn't know which one. Nearing death, Gyro saves Johnny and himself by paying the members of the casino all of the money and goods they own. They win. They defeat almost all of the 11 men. The 11 men, or rather, the one dude, retreats. Gyro and Johnny step outside the casino when, out of nowhere, Gyro turns into tree branches. They haven't given away all of their possessions. Johnny realizes he hasn't given away the corpse parts yet. He hesitates. It's the thing he has put all of his effort into getting. It's implied partially. Gyro's the only one who would be getting absorbed by the tree. If he wouldn't give them away, Gyro would be the only one of them to be sacrificed. Gyro's head appears on the tree Sugar Mountain guards. Disappointment lays on her. She says out loud that she had thought that they would be the ones to stop the curse. But they weren't. Her parents, stepping in, correct her. They are released, and so everyone else. Gyro's head shrinks back inside the tree. Johnny's on the ground crying. Fairly said he cannot be standing up crying. He sold the corpse parts to one of the 11 men. The last one remaining, it seems. He tells Gyro he exchanged the corpse parts for an open bottle of wine. To once again brutally summarize, we see a small flashback where Gyro and Gyro's father are operating on a pregnant woman. The pregnancy is about to go away. They have to decide, let her die and have the baby live on, or have the mother live and the child never grow up. Gyro wants to ask the husband to make the decision, but his father says he isn't the place to. The authority lies on them. He compares it to a tennis ball, perfectly hitting the net so that the ball lingers in the air, with equal chances to land on either side. No one can know what side it lands on. And that decision and knowledge is in the realm of God, in the realm of infinity. Making this decision is what lies in the duty of the Zeppelins. We never end up seeing his decision. Sugar Mountain speaks. She's reunited with her family. She says that Gyro and Johnny are left with nothing and have lost it all, but that those who are willing to lose everything are the ones who are able to gain it all. The snow falls harder. Johnny says that they need to get rid of the wine too before sunset. Gyro agrees.
You want to drink, Gyro? We do have to get rid of this wine too. The sun's about to set.
Hey, how about we make a toast before we get our horses?
To what? We lost everything.
How about a toast to the ball that hit the net?
Huh? What do you mean?
Don't like it? Then to the next corpse part.
The next part, huh? Yeah. That's good. I like it. To the next part. And to the goal.
There are a lot of things you can read in this arc, but firstly, remember one of the overarching themes, or rather topics, of Part 7 is individualism and nationalism. To explain briefly, individualism is personal freedom, self-reliance and being your own self, viewing and living as a machine of its own making, rather than a cog of a larger construct. Nationalism, meanwhile, is loyalty and deep devotion to one's nation over individual interests. Your nation or group comes before anything else. Now, usually people think of Valentine when we discuss the latter, but with this I want to focus on the 11 men, all sharing the same stand. We notice also they are strikingly similar with their appearance. Green jacket, brown pants and so forth. The only unique part they have are their beards. Under nationalism, or rather tribalism I guess in this case, people are reduced to cogs in a machine. Connections between one another usually fall flat. A friendship is worth something, but what's worth more is one's country. One person is replaceable with the other. Sacrifice is welcome to reach one's goal or to protect one's country. In the realm of the 11 men, their similar design is most likely due to this ideology. Working under Valentine has them be stand-ins for replaceable cogs. People have mentioned before how Valentine's stand ability is strange, how the other Valentines who he brings from alternate universes are so uncaring and willing to die. They are similar to patriotic soldiers who are merely there to fulfill their goal. Side note, what type of person watermarks a historical picture? Each Valentine, even if with a completely different life having lived, is by the end there to only serve the bigger picture, to save the country, to collect corpse parts. Individualism usually gets crushed under nationalism. It's nearing, if not almost completely impossible for individualism to thrive under nationalism. One cannot live like an individual if they adhere to a society that treats them like they're replaceable. The 11 men are very similar to Valentine in many ways. Notice how none of them shed tears over another one's death. Notice how inside of the group none of them even knew who the leader was. These men seem very disconnected from one another and have their heads set on one path, fulfilling their goal. Under Valentine's leadership, their goal is his goal. The relationship heavily contrasts the relationship between Sugar Mountain and her family and Gyro and Johnny. Johnny and Gyro both try their best to live their life in the pursuit of individualism, even if not directly stated. Johnny wants to regain his footing while Gyro is in an emotional battle of living for what he stands and what he believes and what he was taught. Notice how Sugar has meanwhile found back her footing and is reunited with her family. The contrast of antagonist and protagonist here represents to me the fight between individualism and nationalism/tribalism once again. With the correlations between the 11 men and the tighter and more hardbound ones between Sugar and her family and Gyro and Johnny to one another, the 11 men see each other as nothing more than companions, but in the most basic sense. Meanwhile, Johnny and Gyro's connection is much stronger and actually grows in this arc.
Johnny and Gyro's individual acceptance.
The scene of Gyro and the girl at the beginning of the chapter is pivotal to understanding Gyro as a character. Gyro was raised with a physically present but emotionally absent father. It is stated he never wrote him once a letter, said he loved him, or showed any emotional support the way a father or a mother would. Gyro, finding out the girl he was fooling with was actually married, was heartbreaking to him. From what we are told, Gyro was never able to connect with a person on a deeper level. So him finding out the girl he was messing around with was married shows the times he opened up and got close to a person, but was left with pain. Life and his father directly have taught him not to open up to anyone. Johnny, on the other hand, has grown up in a large, wealthy household. Being abandoned by his family, Johnny tries to have a footing of his own, and soon after, lose it. Quite literally. When he hears of the occult parts, he tries his all to get closer to it and get back his literal and metaphorical footing. His life, from what we have seen, has been filled with selfish trials. So when he was put under the decision to either let go of the thing that would let him live the life he desperately wanted/needed, or lose his companion Gyro, it was a critical character decision. When he saved Gyro, he was letting go of his selfishness in that very moment to save someone he cared for. He was letting the bigger picture and thereby his own goals be left to the side for the sake of his friend. Note how this, again, contrasts Valentine's entire "the end justifies the mean" approach. Johnny simply doesn't have his own place any longer after his family abandoned him and he lost his title and ability to walk. So this moment shows that he can see a future, at least with Gyro, a place to call his own. Gyro, meanwhile, learns from this moment that he has met someone who he can connect with. The lessons taught by his father and by life itself of the past, and he can open up to at least Johnny and trust that there are people out there he can connect with. Furthermore, he regains respect for Johnny for being able to make decisions that are in the realm of God, outcomes that decide it all. They may think they have lost everything, but in reality, they have gained it all.
Summary and Sugar Mountain.
I believe Sugar Mountain and Gyro and Johnny have all found their place of belonging. The battle has long not been won or lost against Valentine, but unlike the 11 men, they either found their place or have regained it entirely and thereby have found something larger than any of them. They have gained one another.
To the
The
next
next
part,
part
and to
and
the
the
goal.
goal.